What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Built to Endure. I have my beautiful wife with me again. She's actually on camera, so we can check this out. But we're going to jump in. We're going to talk a little bit because she trains women more so than men. And I train majority men, a few women. And so there's some differences between the approach and the mindset. And so we kind of wanted to dig into that because some of you guys are in these exact same spots. So start with you a little bit if you want.
All right. When a guy tells you he's training hard, and still gaining fat, where do you usually find the real problem?
It depends. Everybody's a little bit different, but part of it too is when you're tracking, making sure that you're actually measuring out your serving sizes using the scale. But the big thing probably that we run into for most men is going to be gut health is going to be the number one thing. There's a lot of gut dysbiosis and candida overgrowth or H. pylori, things that are going on in the gut that you just think is natural, or you've got gas or whatever. So we address those. Also, liver detox pathways are slow. So when we get into a slow liver, we're talking about not being able to metabolize sex hormones. That's when we get into estrogen dominance, low T, things like that. So there's a lot of things that play into it, but those are kind of the first things that we go into. What's the most common reason women come to you feeling broken even though they've done everything right?
They're not losing weight, and they don't feel good, and a lot of their doctors won't look deeper. And usually, most of it's hormonal, but their doctors, like, hormones in women's kind of like not a fad, but they don't really go into it as much as they should. But they can eat less and less amount of food. They can outwork their body, and their weight just kind of stalls. So usually they come feeling very frustrated because they feel like they're doing everything right, but in reality, they're actually not doing too much, which is actually worse for the body. What's the biggest lie men over 35 believe about fat loss that's actually keeping them stuck?
Most men simply believe that, like, eat less, move more. It's the same thing as women. Typically, like, if you're going to go into a situation where you're going to just completely continuously go into a calorie deficit, go into a calorie deficit. That's what everybody says. But you are literally slowing the mechanics and the function of the body down. That is, you're not able to fuel thyroid function when you are not having any carbohydrates. You are not able to stimulate sex hormones when you're not having enough fuel. So there's a lot of things that go into it that I think are just a complete lie towards men. So that's where we always see just do more, be more disciplined, eat less, move more, and you're going to be good. And that's just such a terrible, terrible long-term approach to fat loss. It just is. I mean, I'm living proof of it. I'm 20 something years into my fat loss journey, and I'm able to keep abs all year long simply because you take care of the body. And we can still go have pizza. We can still go enjoy food. But because the machine's running at full efficiency, we're able to do that. Why do so many women see progress early and then stall or regress while they're eating less?
I think they see the progress early. You're kind of putting your body into shock by changing things up a little bit. And so, of course, it's going to react and you're going to lose weight. And then it's going to stall because you're going to have some mitochondrial and digestive issues. And of course, like, if you starve your thyroid, you're not going to lose weight like you should. So it kind of plays in the fact where eating less isn't always beneficial for the body.
And I think most women are always just on the same approach of, like, just less, less, less.
Yes.
And I'll starve myself.
Less food and more cardio.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's not necessarily less food is what really needs to happen, but we just need to fix the underlying issues because you're going to have adaptation. Your body is really damn smart. It's going to keep you alive. So if you just keep dropping calories, your metabolism, your BMR, where most of your calories are burnt, are going to continue to drop. And so I think that's a huge, huge thing for women. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over your spiel.
Fine. What do most high-performing men miss when they try to discipline their way out of biology problems?
Most men are. It's the same situation where we're talking about downregulation of your metabolic function, and you're talking about long-term health has to be tied to metabolic health. Like every disease that you can think of, whether it's cancer, whether it's Alzheimer's, whether it's whatever, is tied to metabolic dysfunction and metabolic disease. And so longevity of life, and for most high performers, you have these certain KPIs that you're always chasing, but you're not chasing the ones that are actually going to keep you alive the longest. Making sure that your mitochondrial health are good, making sure that you're supplementing with CoQ10, making sure that you're taking the certain supplements and vitamins that you may not be getting or able to absorb from your shitty gut health because you've got dysbiosis or candida overgrowth or H. pylori or whatever else is going on. You have all these dysfunctional gut issues, so you're not able to actually feed your body the nutrients that it's going to take in order to give those cells the health and the fuel that it needs to perform. So I think they just missed the boat on that because, damn it, they're going to work harder. They be the hardest worker in the room, and they're going to make it better. And that's where they kind of missed the boat. So you got to be sometimes work a little bit smarter, not necessarily harder. How is coaching women different from just giving them a plan and telling them to be more consistent?
They could easily look up a meal plan or workouts on ChatGPT, but it always goes way more in depth with that. We take a look at, their gut health to make sure their digestion is good, their hormones are good, their all the stuff that you can't just get off of ChatGPT. And if you do, it's probably going to give you the wrong information anyway. I could easily just say, here, do this, and it may work at first, but then they're going to eventually stall and they're just going to feel like crap. So you always have to look at the bigger picture and not just at one tiny little portion, which most people think it just comes to nutrition and training. What's the first system you look at before ever touching calories?
Since I've been a part of ECA and working with Justin Mahaley and a lot of Ray Peat stuff, body temperatures is a huge thing. So we're going to look at how the body's actually functioning just through waking body temperatures. And so let me explain it to you this way. Is like the byproduct of energy is heat. So when your body is efficiently producing energy, the byproduct is going to be heat, the same as it is in anything else. Like there's thermodynamics and physics played into this. So if we're able to have good thyroid function and good conversion in the liver, we're going to be pushing T3 into the cell, which is the active hormone. We're going to be cranking out ATP. We're going to be producing energy. So our bodies are going to run warmer. So those waking temperatures, if they're under 97.6, we know we probably have some hypothyroidism going on. It may not be on their blood work, but we know functionally it is. So we're always going to take a look at that very first thing. That and digestion. The body will tell us what it's needing if we just know where to look. What's one thing women are praised for that actually works against their fat loss?
I'm going to reference Skinny Talk.
What the hell is Skinny Talk?
It's where women are like, oh my gosh, girl, you're so skinny. You look so good, blah, 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 blah. Sure, skinny. A lot of women that base their value on the scale and being skinny enough. But in all reality, them being skinny doesn't necessarily mean that they're healthy. They could be starving their body of a lot of nutrients that they don't know that they're doing because they're getting so much praise for being so skinny. So that's just my personal opinion. I feel like women chase that skinny look rather than the healthy look. I used to be one of those women. So I feel like I can say that.
Now you got some muscles since you married me, so proud of it.
I try anyway. If a man listening feels tired, flat, and frustrated, but his labs are normal, what would you tell him to question first?
I would tell him that his normal labs are complete bullshit. Most normal ranges are complete bullshit. Like, I think the normal range for insulin, fasting insulin, is something like 24 to 28, and like most functional want between like 8 and 5 or 8 and 4, and even like as low as 2 sometimes. So you could be having somebody that has insulin resistant that they're saying that they're normal. So that's something that I would definitely tell them to kick rocks to normal ranges. If a woman listening to this is inflamed, anxious around food, what's the first thing she should stop blaming herself for?
Stop blaming yourself in general. You don't know what you don't know. And your doctors have been telling you that you're normal and that you're healthy. But obviously, if you're inflamed and you have some issues going on, they don't want to help you. They want to keep you sick enough to have you keep coming back. So don't blame yourself for not knowing what you don't know. That's really the...
A healed person is a lost patient. And, I'm not saying that all doctors are bad, but doctors don't continue to study. What they learn in medical school is old. A lot of it's old science. And so like a lot of these dumb functional normal ranges are around sick ass populations. Your relationship with food wasn't always great either, was it?
Yeah, don't be anxious around food. Your body needs it. And you're not going to get fat from one slice of pizza.
No.
Or a donut.
Pizza's awesome. Donuts are awesome. In moderation.
Yeah. So.
One more question is, because we're married, and this is interesting because we do this together as well too, but like, how do you feel it's important for a man and a woman or a husband and wife to approach fat loss and fitness together? Like, why is it important from your perspective?
For one, I think the obviously the support, because you don't want to be going on this new lifestyle goal or path and your significant other not support you. But you also have, like he said earlier, he'll have one client that's working with him, but their spouse isn't. And so, like, I don't know, I can't remember.
It kind of like creates tension, because maybe even if like somebody is doing carnivore and we're not practicing carnivore, the thing is it creates this tension as to like who's right and who's wrong, or it's like a battle of you're almost competing against each other, and it's just not the best thing.
Because more often than not, the individual that's not working with the coach isn't necessarily going to be doing it the right way. Like, oh, carbs are bad, but then the individual that's working with us, like, they get a big ass plate of rice, and their spouse is like, well, what the hell? Those are bad for you. Like, if I ate that, I would get fat. But that's not the case at all. Like, I eat rice and pasta all the time, and I'm not fat. So you just have to do it.
Yeah, it's
correctly.
It's understanding metabolic health and adaptation and things like that. So for me too, like, my view on it is like, if you're working together, so I mean, I've made you cry in the gym several times. Those that are watching on YouTube, you can see her face, but for me, I like pushing her to be her best. For me, like, there's always unlocked potential in everybody. And so like, when Erica and I met, like, she was the cardio bunny. She never lifted weights.
No, I did, just not the right way.
Oh, well, but I push her out of her comfort zone too. And so I think that's one of those. And for me, it's not necessarily about the accountability as much as like, I want to be a good looking man, jacked and juicy for my wife. Like, that's part of it too. Like, it is what it is, as silly as it sounds. But like, for me, you're part of my why. Like, I want you to be proud of me. I want you to be able to be like, hey, that's my husband. Just like I'm able to say that's my wife, and we do this business together, and we, all the things that we're doing together. So I think it's important. But if any of these resonate, and you're like a man or a woman, and you just need a little guidance, and you need a plan, and you need some support, and to do things long term, because anybody can lose weight and gain it back, but that's what we're not trying to do. We're trying to lose weight and keep it off. So understanding that fixing the systems behind your weight gain and building the habits that are going to sustain them are so freaking important. So if any of this resonates, all you need to do is like drop a comment, say, hey, more info, or coach, I need help, Erica, come help me, like whatever it is, just let us know, and we will do everything we possibly can to help you out in the best way possible. So thank you for joining for another edition of Built to Endure, and we will see you guys on the next one.